Rasta stand for positive. Love is all we got to give.
Bringing forth the remedies. Listen to your melodies.
We're living for beyond today. Never we be led astray.
Come my people fight again. Natty dread fight again.
A Rastafari I'm a senior. He make sure no Babylon come in ya. While me a stuff about join and me steamers. We come to bring reality to all the dreamers.
Yeah, 'cause Babylon we not fear ya. Destruction and corruption will reveal ya. Now the people feel that music is our healer. Without words and our philosophies will free ya.
Rasta stand for positive. Love is all we got to give.
Bringing forth the remedies. Listen to your melodies.
Ooh, we're living for beyond today. Never we be led astray.
Come my people fight again. Natty dread fight again. Running like a river, keep it flowing on today. People pushing new directions, got to change reality. Never let the system Natty get up in your face. No, we can't be stopped now. Natty dread be on the way.
Babylon, chastise the youths them to come on to them. Tell you it's all false pretense. Tell you it's all false pretense. Destroying the youths them with bad influence. Tell you it now make no sense. Oh, Rasta is for positive. Love is all we got to give.
Bringing forth the remedies. Listen to your melodies.
We're living for beyond today. Never we be led astray.
Tell my people fight again. Natty dread fight again.
One love is what we want. One love,
Yeah, it's what we need.
one love. Got to get to what we want. One love,
It's what we need. Yeah.
one love is what we want. One love,
Oh, no, it's what we need. Yeah.
one love. Got to get what we want. One love.
It's what we need.
Rasta is for positive. Love is all we got to give.
Bringing forth the remedies. Listen to the melodies.
Ooh, we're living for beyond today. Never we be led astray.
Come my people fight again. Natty dread fight again.
Well, Natty riding on, Natty keeping strong.
Right on.
Ride on,
Natty right, yeah.
ride on. Roots and reality we bring to you. Hear that? Positive vibration, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Tread on, tread on, tread on.
Right on, yeah.
You know this is Cannabis. And right now you're locked onto General Hydroponics Volume 4. Medicine for your plants, music for your soul. Play a tune.
Going to a party where music is in session. Going to a party where music is in session. We're going to a party, a General Hydroponics party. We're going to a party, a General Hydroponics party. Going to a party where music is in session. Going to sensation. Sensation.
You know this is New Kingston. I was watch it, you know. General Hydroponics, you're large. Watch it now.
Yeah. Got to find a way. Hey, come listen me now. Hey. Well, the sun hot like this Kingston fire. Man, I look and work and can't get higher. Me smoke the herbs so me can get higher. I feel burn them up in no shot of fire. The youth them go to school and you teach them mere lie. Have them out the streets and not know them shoe size. Pocket full of paper just to make it fit right. Anything just to get by.
Jaja, yes, you put me to the test, I know. Jaja, bless me anywhere I go. Jaja, give me strength to defeat my foes. Whoa.
We got to find a way. Joshua the way. Got to find a way. Joshua the way. In my town, people the things them know what to do. I've been juggle 3 jobs just to feed them youth. But Sophia raised, but them not raised the truth. Them know what with they are, so we sing it in the booth. That we have to work harder now. Them know we stronger now. I don't know harder now. Your people hear me now. Feel with life, so we are gonna take back control. I feel with life, so them not gonna take where we sold.
Jaja, yes, you put me to the test, I know. Jaja, bless me anywhere I go. Jaja, give me strength to defeat my foes. Yeah.
Got to find a way. Joshua the way. Got to find a way.
All my people have to stand firm. All this Kingston fire is gonna burn. Yes, my people stand up strong. How long we gonna suffer too long? All my people have to stand firm. Yes, this Kingston fire is gonna burn. All my people stand up strong. How long we gonna suffer too long?
Got to find a way. Joshua the way. Got to find a way. Joshua the way. Yeah man, General Hydroponics. Sitting out blaze like the Kingston fire. Mad.
Them said, ain't not a dreadlock, so the way you come from, you must have 2 sticks of sense under your tongue. I said, no, officer, Lord, you must be mad. He only smokes cigarettes and strictly shag. Oh,
It's all about that. Mary Jane. Hey. You know what? I'm a sad. Yep. I'm yawning 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm breaking out the bag of weed. I break it up, then I'm rolling. Yep. Fuck it, I'm jonesing. Waking, baking, I'm stoning. There's a gal in the bed rolling. Yep. Fuck it, I'm boning. Yep. Oh yeah. Okay. Lighting trees up till smoke. I'm puffing on the best. You just smoking some shit. That's just okay. Okay. Yeah. You go smoke that hay. I'm alright. I'ma smoke that high grade every day. I know still. They must see things say a joke thing when me Allah. Allah, me Allah. I just the high grade when me smoking. They must see things say a joke thing when me Allah, me Allah, me Allah, me Allah. Give me that good. Call the rest, call it the fucking butterfugo. Jabba base on the best. Straight from Cali FedEx. I'm like, hold up, what's next? I'm smoking so much I got a motherfucking pain in my chest. yeah. Going bananas, I roll a couple, spit them on the look like bananas. Yeah, Cooper bananas. I'm trees, ocean, savannas. I'm living life, plus a couple bricks that shot for me. Nanas, I'm talking about high grade when me smoking. They must see things say a joke thing when me all a burn me ganja vibe, burn me ganja vibe, burn me ganja vibe, burn me ganja vibe. High grade when me smoking. They must see things say a joke thing when me all a, me all a, me all a. Troubles away, yeah, and she don't stray too far from the west end. Nah, she's always been close to me. When she's around, I just drift away, yeah. High grade is the type of love that she give to me. High grade, me need her each and every day. High grade, come check me today. I need the high grade, you know. Mary Jane, that's my best friend. She's always been good to me. Come and take all my troubles away. And some people say I learned my lesson. She's not right and she's not good for me. But please don't take my Mary Jane away. Cause she's the high grade is the type of love that she give to me. High grade, me need her each and every day. High grade, come check me today, Mary Jane. High grade, you know. Oh, yeah. She am my first love. Oh, yeah. She never leave me lonely. Oh, yeah. She am my first love. Yeah. High grade is the kind of love that she give to me. High grade, me need her each and every day. High grade, come check me today. I need the high grade.
Enemy, you create more problems than you got the remedy. You're misleading and deceive my people endlessly, and then you wonder why me never want you next to me. Your civilians are like slaves acting
like a game of FIFA. You can kick it or you can reach your goals. Maybe you can do both. Maybe your music is known. You need to prove that you focus. I'm more than blowing that smoke. I'm on my Michael Jordan, Michael Johnson, Michael Jackson in his prime. Tiger Woods of this rap shit, been rapping my whole life. You just clubbing every night and be struggling on the mic. But the hustle isn't nothing when you in love with the grind. Moving product like I'm Nino, mobbing like I'm CeeLo. Caribbean Latino, I be half Asian and gringo. Catch me with a rum on the rocks, walking the walk, girl on my job. Talking like she wanna take me back to a spot. Not from Houston, but I'm rapping a lot. Yeah, making music like you trapped in a box. I'm breaking the locks, changing the game, not chasing the charts. And if we on the same page, show me what you got. How you work. Fell in love with the game at the age of 13. Wet dreams of taking over the scene. Was a microphone fiend, still addicted to the feeling of letting out my feelings. Bet if I'm in the building, I'm killing. Everything moving, if you playing, you losing. If you staying where you at, you ain't building a movement. I ain't chilling, I'm cooling. Like a villain, I swoop in. And I ain't stealing nothing, cause the Zilla is the blueprint. Son of an immigrant, my mother been working since summer of 76. Not talking, we living it.
DFCRadio.com.
Feeling so high. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high. Feeling so high. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high.
All right, open signs on. It's 5 o'clock. Welcome. The restaurant is about to kick off. This is the Farm to Table Cannabis Show with none other than yours truly, the hydroponic chef. We're about to get all up in your ear for the next hour. We're going to be feeding you some game, everything that the cannabis industry has to offer. Top names in the industry for interviews, top names for reviews, and we're the only show offering you cannabis news. So sit back, relax. We got our chef in the kitchen. We got co-hosting today, none other than Chef Chelsea from Taboo Talks. I'm going to be your server today. So let me take your order, and we're going to serve up some knowledge. If you pay attention, you might even learn something. We got a good show lined up for you today. We got Matt McGill himself coming in from Uncle Arnie's. Hey, man, if it's been in a bottle, if it's been something liquid and you've sipped it, chances are he might have had something to do with it. So you might you might even get liquefied today. So we're having some serious libations in the building. That's a big word, libations. Chelsea, word. You know what that one is? That's what I use on the expense report when they ask me, hey, man, what the fuck are libations? Look it up in the dictionary. It's celebratory drinks.
Celebratory drinks.
It's a hard one. That's a hard one to defend. Oh, he was having libations. Okay, I guess we're going to go ahead and approve that one.
And there's also, they're afraid to actually ask what it means.
Yeah, you don't want to know. Yeah, exactly.
So you're like, oh, crap. Okay, just write it off.
This libation station.
The libation station. McGill is our conductor. Hey. That's it. So, we're the only show offering you edible news, reviews, and interviews of the top names in the industry. And we're going to kick it off with some news like we always like to do. But, man, I've been thinking, Saint. I've been thinking a lot. Like, I don't know how they get away with this shit in this industry. There's so much weird hypocrisies and upside-down shit. And sometimes in this game, we just got to call it for what it is. And it's like we're living in two different ball fields when it comes to this industry and the way things are legalized. And I got one for you guys right now out of Potomac. Listen to this one. The outgoing mayor appoints herself to the Medical Marijuana Commission. Voters in Pontiac passed medical marijuana ordinance a couple years ago, but the owners are still trying to figure out who's going to get their licenses approved. One of the big reasons for the delay is because of this public display that's been going on in the holdback of the whole process is a public meeting of the Marijuana Commission broke down before it even began. And the Pontiac interim city clerk posted that the notice about Tuesday's meeting in the clerk's office that the mayor, Deirdre Waterman, said she was supposed to post it on the city's website, but decided that she just kind of forgot to do her job. Several people showed up for the meeting, and it lasted 6 minutes. And in those 6 minutes, folks, 3 members were sworn in as Pontiac's Medical Marijuana Commission, who were appointed by the mayor and included the mayor. And it ended because of the advice of council. So they had to end the meeting in those 6 minutes, but they were able to pull that fucking backroom deal off after not putting the meeting out for anyone to see. And it was damn near a closed meeting that was open to the public, and she appointed herself as part of the commission.
Wow. How is that
on
even
her way
ethical?
out of office. So you want to talk about some weird shit going on in this industry, and I'm sure, hey, Matt, you've probably seen your fair share of some weird shit in this industry. We're going to get into it later, but I mean, can you comment on that? Have you seen anything so flip-floppy, weird, stacking the deck in your favor? Like, sheesh.
Oh, I keep reading about it on the news.
Yeah, everyone wants to make money off this shit, even if it's behind the scenes and they can pull some strings.
It's ridiculous. That's not even ethical. You can't appoint. Well, I guess you obviously can, but you shouldn't be able to appoint yourself onto a
There's a
cannabis
conflict
committee.
there.
There's
yeah,
a huge conflict of interest.
Especially
Like,
if you ever
Right.
had anything bad to say against cannabis in your entire political career.
Oh yeah,
then
absolutely.
So, but luckily we've got people fighting for the good folks of Pontiac. Michael Stein is an attorney representing clients who've been trying to get through to the medical marijuana process in the city for 3 years now. He said Pontiac may be the worst he's ever seen at implementing the process, and Stein said that he's looking forward to the next administration and hopes that they'll be able to better work with the environment of the local community. So, yeah, the shit's a shit show in Pontiac. It's something that you have to call out for what it is. And, speaking of shit shows, California is not the only shit show out there. The entire nation's kind of a shit show when it comes to federal legalization. And, I mean, me and Saint said it for years before any of this shit went legal in Prop 64. You want cannabis to stay cool and you want cannabis to still be available and be at a good price, keep it illegal. You want it legal? you want it legal, then you're going to suffer the consequences of what's going through right now. And
Right.
you guys hear about the legal industries killing it right now, and the black market's not thriving. It flip-flopped around a couple years ago. But you look at right now, we got people like Sarah Silverman and Seth Rogen being the voices on Capitol Hill to speak about legalization. And, I mean, I don't know if they've read the bills or not. I don't know if they're a positive or negative representation on the conversation that's going to happen. Seth Rogen at
Isn't he
Capitol Hill. I can
Canadian
just see it now.
anyways?
Yeah. But it's still good to see the light being shined on it. To spotlight it, it's good. I'm just not sure that Seth Rogen's our knight in shining armor.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my Seth Rogen impression. I don't really laugh like that.
Spot on, for sure.
And Sarah Silverman, she's been pushing the message for a minute, though. Remember when she pulled out the vape pen on the red carpet and everyone went fucking wild and it was just like...
And she's a huge advocate for medicinal marijuana, too.
Nate Diaz has been pulling vape pens out at press conferences for years. He don't get no love. But, yeah, so it's kind of weird. Federal legalization has advanced somewhat, but still faces strong headwinds on Capitol Hill. And the Cannabis in Common initiative launched Tuesday aims to change that, and it has been nabbed by Seth Rogen and Sarah as their beacon of positivity that they're going to put their efforts into. Legalizing cannabis is long past due, and if we make enough noise, we can make... Oh, this is from Seth Rogen. Legalizing cannabis is long past due, and if we can make enough noise, we can make it happen, Rogen said. All right.
Spot on.
So
Spot on.
let's take it. Let's get serious for a minute. Take it to San Bernardino. Burn your house down. Burn your greenhouse down. Sheriff Operation Hammer Strike is officially went into effect last week. Yielded 34 arrests, 33,000 cannabis plants destroyed throughout San Bernardino County, and they destroyed a shit ton of greenhouses too.
Of course they did.
They don't just come through and shut the greenhouses down. They fucking bulldoze them and burn them to the ground now.
Do they really?
So last week marked among the most sweeping spurts of raids amongst the crackdowns and illegal cannabis farming in the high desert in more than 2 years since Operation Hammer Strike began. San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department said that Saturday on November 1st, its 5 specialized task force teams arrested 34 people and seized various lucrative black market goods as a result of 26 search warrants served across nearly a dozen different areas, from Barstow to unincorporated Lucrin Valley, all the way to Rancho Cuco, down to San Bernardino Greenhouse Down.
All those hard tax dollars at work.
All of that money. Meanwhile, we got people missing in the streets. We can't get a fucking answer on shit. COVID's a fucking mess. The total number of arrests last week marked the 4th highest in a single week since Hammer Strike began August 30th of this year, guys.
That's
so
insane.
If you're wondering about if pack prices are going to continue to be low, not with raids like this. Black market will be thriving here in 90 days.
Yeah.
Just keep on gardening. Think about the future. Just keep growing. Because it's ebb and flow. It always is. I've got people in the hydro industry looking at me like, oh my God, should I sell my fucking store right now? Should I get in? Should I get out? This is the moment you double down. They say buy in the dip. Same thing goes with cannabis legalization and when it comes to the black market. Because who's got their foot on the white market's throat right now? I mean, black market's throat, the white market. It was the exact opposite a couple years ago, and it flip flops, and it's an ebb and flow. So hold on to your butts and don't panic yet. Don't sell your grow store. And
well, this is nothing new. They do this. They did all those huge raids in Anza a couple of years ago, where they had the National Guard helicopters.
And then COVID came, and we had the biggest years ever.
It was and that's like the only reason, because like nobody was going to do raids during a lockdown like that. So they just didn't do it last year. So I feel like everybody forgot really quickly that it happens every single year, and those that hold on to it continue to thrive, and those that don't,
they're not going to do raids when they couldn't even protect the stores, the dispensaries in the cities. I mean, do you remember there were all the riots?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, people breaking into stores.
Yeah. We had 47 of our accounts hit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that was the only time in my cannabis career that I thought the industry was at its most vulnerable.
Wow.
Take away the already limited amount of retails, you're screwed.
That's
it
too.
That's crazy.
So it's an ever-changing industry. In the legalization, it flows. It flows back and forth. So white market, black market. There's a happy fucking medium out there. It's just not the white, or it's not the black market's year. So let's take it out to Ohio and wrap it up here. We're gonna go wrap it up in my adopted home. A Republican state senator is sponsoring a bill that would expand conditions for Ohio medical marijuana to include anything that would be deemed beneficial to the patient, such as arthritis, migraines, autism, spectrum disorder, spasticity, talking to you, Chelsea, or chronic muscle spasm, hospice care, opioid use, feeling good, not feeling good, any condition from which a patient.
What it says?
No, I just threw that last one in there.
I was like, oh my gosh.
But basically, you know what I'm saying, right? This covers everything from menstrual cramps to goddamn fucking.
Well, I don't know if you've ever had a menstrual cramp, but that is a legitimate reason.
It's kind of like a really bad fart, right?
Oh no.
No, Saints having menstrual cramps right now.
No.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, can we get
Smells
one
like
of those
it smells like
things?
Coach in here on an airplane. So Senate Bill 261 comes as a group of business owners in Ohio and medical marijuana industry collect signatures across the state to get a recreational marijuana initiative statute on the ballot. There's also a Republican-sponsored House bill that would allow cannabis for adult use. So they're looking at two different things here on Thanksgiving, guys, to give thanks for. Everybody can smoke, evidently, in Ohio if that bill passed. And they also got the possibility to have a medical market. And I think we can all agree at this table that's the best way it ever could have been, is to have two separate markets, one medical, one which is the non-traditional market, the white market.
Yeah.
And then medical is kind of the traditional market. And that's,
Really
that's
is.
really what it's branded itself as. It's been a gray area for so long. Let's just call it for what it is. People that want to have safe access to medical cannabis, and also a platform of getting rid of their product. If you grow excess cannabis, and you grow really good excess cannabis, you should be able to take that shit to market. You should be able to take that shit to the farmer's market on the medical side. But that's the cannabis news according to the chef. And we're here bringing you news every week, and make sure you watch the replays every week on dfzradio.com and High Times TV. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to jump into an interview, talk with Chelsea here. We got Matt from Uncle Arnie's. We're going to get medicated and educated.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Already am.
DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis, High Times TV.
Drink in my cup, someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Side diesel in my blood, put a drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blood, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up. That's D. Got me smoking the best, no stress cheese. Now hold up, now roll up. Check the situation, about to go nuts. With a little bit of perk up in my cup. You could tell the bartender to fill it on up. that's alright, baby, work your stuff. And that's all night, baby, work your strut. You and your friends can ride when I go. Take a little spin in my Monte Carlo. Take a little dip, baby, show you how I roll. Take a little hit, baby, puff on the hydro. Eyes so lit, make me look like my eyes closed. Purple Drake mix, make me look like my eyes glow. Hypno Grey Goose with a little grape juice. That's how it is, so I'ma have to take side diesel in my blunt. Purple drink in my cup, someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Side diesel in my blunt, purple drink in my cup, someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blunt, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up. It's the ADX team with no doubt in between, and we stay fresh and clean when we hop on the scene, and we style on them, profile on them. If they wanna act crazy, then we wild on them. It's the S to the T and that Cambo G, either Maserati blue or the Lambo green, and that Chevrolet mean when it drop on the street, either hating on you or they hating on me. And it's shaved up, raised up, drive it to the flow, got them blades that stay tough, and the candy on the bike, same color as sour. Catch me on the site 100 miles per hour. This is my life, so this ain't ours. So I stay tight, so this is power. With the ADX team, you could call us some brave hearts. Sour diesel trees, you could call it the trademark. Side diesel in my blunt, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Side diesel in my blunt, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blunt, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up. West Coast, crank it on up. East Coast, crank it on up. Midwest, crank it on up.
Launch crew, ready to reservoir.
What's the load factor, sir?
Bringing the Riser Blast liquid at 2 mils per gallon.
Okay, sir. We are loaded and ready to launch.
10, 9.
Okay, men. It's time to blast off into the plant's root zone and into another galaxy of root growth.
Rhizoblast is a proprietary blend of seaweed and the single-celled algae chlorella. Chlorella's abundance of amino acids and minerals contribute to its value in hydroponics. The benefits used in Rhizoblast are explosive root growth, the use with any growing medium or hydro system, its ideal use for transplanting, and the enhancement of your plant vigor in fast-flowering plants. Let your plants have a blast and see a world of a difference with Rhizoblast from Botanicare. Check it out at www.botanicare.com.
DFCRadio.com.
Yeah, this is Rudy with Cannabis Catered Events, and you're listening to DFC Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis with the Hydroponic Chef.
All right, we're back. Farm to Table Cannabis. This is the Hydroponic Chef live in the studio. We got Chef Chelsea keeping it taboo over there. We got Matt McGinn over here keeping it real with the liquefaction station. And yo, Saint, DJ Extraordinaire, what were we listening to there?
Right there, we was listening to Crank It Up by the Saint 562, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, the Saint dropping some more gems on us, keeping it California.
Make sure you crank it up.
Crank it up. So yeah, we're back. Farm to Table Cannabis, staying lit here. Just had to take a dab real quick before we get into our interview with Matt McGinn. And Chelsea's been so gracious to line up some interviews for us, and she's got good people on the mix. So you better stay tuned these next couple of weeks. Next week we got Chef Swoop coming in the studio, winner of the Discovery Cannabis Cooking Channel.
Very exciting.
So very excited to be talking about that. But yeah, so Matt, introducing a big Farm to Table Cannabis welcome to Uncle Arnie I mean, we're gonna call you Uncle Arnie here in a minute, but it's Matt McGinn. So, man, if you've had some liquefaction in your life lately, then chances are this guy might have had something to do with it. So, a big welcome from Farm to Table Cannabis for you, and let's everyone hear you get into that mic and introduce yourself.
What up, fam?
So we got Mike, we got Matt here. Excuse me, this guy's
he's just making up names.
Yeah, now just throwing shit out there. But it's because we stay lit on this show,
Very
and
true.
that's one of the things we like to do is get lit, and nothing better than bringing in some 100 milligram THC bottled products to talk about.
100?
But now this ain't your only product, but this is one of the products that we're gonna dive right into right out the rip. So first of all, Uncle Arnie's. This has got some inspiration behind it. We've got the old school retro tie-dye name. So why don't you tell us, first of all, what Uncle Arnie's and where does the name come from?
So Arnold Palmer is a traditional iced tea lemonade beverage. You go into any restaurant, you order an Arnie's Palmer, and it's iced tea mixed with lemonade. Usually it's like a little bit of lemonade and iced tea, or a little bit of iced tea and a lot of lemonade.
Yeah.
And Arnie... Arnold, it's similar but not the same. We wanted to be careful not to piss anybody off over at the Arnold Palmer Corporation or entity or whatever. But
don't lie, it was the dude from the golf cart, and his name happened to be Arnie.
For sure.
And he wore a tie-dye shirt.
Yeah.
And he was handing out all the good extracted liquid.
Yeah.
So we got the iced tea flavor.
Mm-hmm.
It's an iced tea lemonade.
It's heavy on the lemonade. Yeah.
And so my ratios, I'm a big, lemonade and a tea guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to have a good 80-20 mix, 20% tea with 80% lemonade.
Okay.
But, let's talk about what ratio would you say this if you had to put a number on it?
I'd say 66% lemonade.
Damn, that's how I know this guy's in the beverage industry. This guy was like...
He knows on point. He's like, that's easy.
Yeah, he already knows.
And the difference is iced tea.
Iced tea. So there's
It's tasty.
There's a lot of different teas out there. There's a lot of different lemonades, but there's a lot of inputs when it comes to cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about these products and how are you sourcing your ingredients?
Mm-hmm.
Do you come from a growing background? Do you come from a corporate background with cannabis, or is it more like a black market side?
Yeah, no, actually I come from, so I'm 33 and I come from the beverage industry. I owned a nationally distributed cold brew coffee company. We did nitro cold brew in cans and kegs. We were based in Minnesota. We scaled into about 35 states. We were sold in over 4,500 accounts, mostly gas stations and supermarkets and stuff. And so I came into the cannabis space in 2018. I actually lived on a collective, learned about the plants. I bucked the plants, I watered them. But at night I worked on surface chemistry. And I made nano emulsions in my kitchen using shatter and whatever I could find.
So really understanding the chemistry of the plant and the post-grow process.
Correct.
So important.
Right. And, it's really, there's a lot of things that go into making a cannabis beverage. There's a lot of things that people don't realize that you need to focus on before it's already too late. Like they've invested, $2 million, designed everything, ordered everything, but then didn't realize that the package they ordered will actually destroy the emulsion that's in their product, right?
And let's talk about that too, because how many times have we been to a festival or we went to the sesh or there was someone handed you a sample of something and you held it up to the light and you could see the actual extract of what they used in there.
We call that boof.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of boof that goes into that process because that's just people throwing things in a bottle.
Yeah.
What you're doing is true emulsification, really making sure that there's I guess you would say, harmonization of the extract, the inputs of the ingredients, and then the lemonade and the tea.
I could do a crash course on beverage, right? So you have cannabis is not water soluble, right? So
Correct.
You have the trim, right? The trim gets turned into distillate or oil, right? HTE or terp sauce or FSO, right? Or a blend of distillate plus whatever, right? That oil needs to get turned into something that can work and disperse throughout the water. So a nano emulsion basically uses, it's two different types of ingredients that help it kind of become water miscible. Right, so you gotta use those two. You gotta figure out the ingredients, but those ingredients are nasty usually and taste really bad. So once you have those ingredients figured out, you gotta figure out the right ratios, and then you have to do some other stuff with equipment to make it work, but also not affect the taste. But a lot of people don't know this, but anything in plastic will dramatically affect a nano-emulsion. So
Absolutely.
anything in a PET bottle or plastic is highly suspect.
So
Like
always
the CBD
question that if you see the
waters.
plastic.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, and the clear too, right?
Oh yeah. Well, it's okay to be clear. I mean, it does just like beer, you don't want beer to get hit by the sun, right?
Yeah.
But it's not going to affect the structure of the emulsion, but definitely the taste. But you see anything in a plastic bottle, and there's some brands out there that are in it. What happens is they rush their COAs, and the degradation of the cannabinoids happen at the 5-week period. So they'll rush through their COAs. They'll come out clean. The potency will say, let's say it's in a 100 milligram format. It'll say 100 milligrams. But in 5 weeks, you could lose anywhere from 13 to 98% of the cannabinoids in the drink.
wow.
And if you're an up-and-coming business and
That's
you get
so
hit
good.
on your first batch, your name is nothing. And, I mean, that's the difference between coming from the beverage industry and understanding what
Right.
it takes to bring a product full to market.
We do a ton of testing on our
Yeah.
product. Like we do extensive shelf life testing, and whenever we change an input, we run more tests. You know, we do time test studies, and we make sure that the tannins in our tea don't break down our emulsion. That's like a culprit. There's some things that really don't interact well with cannabis, and it will cause the cannabis to repel out of the solution. And like aluminum, anything in a can has issues. Now there's companies that have figured out how to add inputs into an emulsion to help it better interact with its container.
But you shouldn't have to add more things to a product to make it shelf stable.
I'm under the same impression, so that's why my products are in glass.
Yeah.
Which
Outstanding.
is truly, we'll do a canned product, but we know exactly our degradation level, and we do add more cannabis to offset the degradation. We lose 8% in our cans, so we add 10%. You
Yeah.
know, and there you go.
To kind of offset for
Our
it.
variance is, if I say 100, it has to be up to 110, right?
I see.
So I could add 110 and lose 8% and still be at 102.
Oh, okay.
Right? So-
Yeah.
So let's talk about what infusion technique you use, and not even so much technique, but input. Are you using distillate? Are you using the...
Currently, the industry mostly uses distillate, and that's what we started with. We have really good inputs and costs right now. As you guys know, the oil market's cratered. So we're seeing the best costs we've ever seen on oil, period, post-tax. There's nothing like it right now.
Best time to be in the edible game.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say
sub
it.
$3 a gram, right?
So,
for
yeah.
90%.
Dust
So-
off grandma's recipe and put something in something and sell it.
Yeah.
If
But
only
let's-
it were that easy.
Let's talk about the complications that goes into being a cannabis brand launching a product too. So I mean, this
It's
isn't all
challenging.
sunshine and rainbows.
Oh God, I'd say it's.
You
the
had it
opposite.
made in the in the beverage industry. Why would you come in the cannabis industry?
I saw opportunities, and I saw a great opportunity to help people. I created Uncle Arnie's Iced Tea Lemonade to really make drinks accessible to everybody. Most things before Arnie's were the $20 to $30 range for 100 milligrams. No person who's from the traditional market would ever buy that product, right? A medical consumer who needs a high dose can't afford you're not going to, if you're a daily consumer and you're consuming 300 or 400 or 500 milligrams.
You get diabetes before you get
Yeah, of
high.
course. So I wanted to create a product that I could literally undercut the entire market by half the cost. And to do that, I needed to own my inputs, I needed to own my distribution, and I need to own the manufacturing. And that's how I started, and that's what we did. My group, my team, it's a team effort. I'm just the cook, right? I'm just the madman.
You're doing a little more than that, though.
But it's a dream, and what 40 Water say: a dream without a plan is just a hallucination. And you've been able to manifest this, and then the Uncle Arnie's. It's got a good ring to it. It's got a good name already. It's well received. I looked down the list. You're at Sipkoi. You're at several other dispensaries. That one just popped out of my head. Good thing going on over there. But I mean, already taken in well by the community. How has your local, city taken you in? Because I mean, we all know the challenge is not making a product that people want. Everyone wants cannabis products, but getting accepted in a building, getting the bureaucracy, and getting a tape
you're all
cut.
over California.
We started in SAC, and we're in 98% of the accounts in SAC and Stockton, in Modesto, in Redding.
209.
Yeah, we started.
Chelsea's got a good story about the 209 when we come back from break in a minute too.
So we're in about 227 retails into deliveries, and we actually got into another 80 with the drop of our new product, which is the peach iced tea.
Now, dude, let's get southern for a minute. Now,
yeah,
I mean that peach tea is very close to people's heart. Now, that's something you gotta do it just right, because otherwise, Mama said peach tea only supposed to be so peach tea.
Is that southern?
Peach tea is totally southern.
No, I'm not. I know my family.
That was Bobby Boucher. That was Bobby Boucher's mother. Don't you?
The accent. I was really confused.
Bobby's trying to get a point across now.
Okay.
No, the southern peach tea. Now everyone's so particular about their peach tea. They don't want like that imitation peach flavor. Like, how is this compared to like that? I don't know, that knockoff Snapples out there and shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to hate on Snapple. What? It's kind of.
Do you like Snapple though? Do you like the Snapple peach iced tea?
It's the Snapple peach iced tea's got an okay flavor. It doesn't taste generic.
It's very similar to Snapple peach iced tea.
Whoa, he's telling me everything I want to hear. So it checks all the boxes then.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the sugar content and everything is very similar, and I got the secrets that make it pop.
See, not to hate on Snapple, it was just growing up, they were just in everything. Like, I went to a school that had nothing but Snapple vending machines, and then you go to Snapple was pretty much running the 90s.
The trick to our drink, though, not tasting like generic shit, is we use real tea.
Oh, nice.
So not tea extract.
No, we use real tea.
Because we had a big conversation about extract before people came in. Most people don't know that some of the extracts that are used in beverages are not vegan. They come from animals. It's kind of terrifying. Like the red in the coffee at Starbucks, that's from a beetle. Like the one in Chambord, the like really red liquor, that's from a beetle.
So it's a lot of makeup, and this is not something new. It's been happening for hundreds of
Tell
thousands
them about vanilla.
of years.
You could just sub Beatles for
well,
beet
tell them
juice.
about vanilla, chef.
Beet juice.
Yeah, beet juice. Well,
juice.
I mean, that is a really. I need to look into that because I have not personally found any beaver anal gland.
Beaver has vanilla extract from castorum. It's a nasty extract. So we're just gonna end this conversation now. But please use real vanilla, not
Get real vanilla
extract. All right. Now let's talk about the difference between natural ingredients going into your products and instead of those extracts. When you use real tea, you're sourcing your own tea as well.
Yeah. I've come from the beverage industry, so I have like relationships from kombucha companies and tea companies. I have a relationship with Verdant Tea, but we source our tea. I source most of my ingredients from a couple of manufacturers I trust. There's also supply chain issues right now.
Oh yeah.
So
What's been the biggest challenge from COVID that you've experienced, other than supply chain? Then
definitely the riots. I say definitely affected the industry
as a whole.
At one point in time, so dramatically, like the most I felt influenced from an event was the riots, because so many dispensaries that were our accounts got hit and had to close for like a month, and several $100,000s worth of damages, upwards of millions at some facilities, right?
Yeah.
710 got hit, Nug got hit.
I was going to say Nug got hit.
Yeah, those things, that scared me the most. But the supply chain, I've always been hyper focused on it, making sure we have enough bottles, caps. But the shipping and the logistics and the nightmares that you're hearing about in the news regarding Long Beach and the Port of LA, right? Yeah, the hundreds of...
You can see it.
Yeah.
I was on my way out to Catalina last weekend, and I was looking at all those shipping containers, and I was just like, man, it's like an island, boy.
Oh my God!
It's just an island.
Somebody just needs to drive out there with a little boat and sell drugs.
Every
to
one of
everybody.
those boats.
I think I saw something the other day that they like raided one of those ships for like having a whole bunch of like children that they were trying to like smuggle in. Like, yeah, it was crazy. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'll have to send it to you.
But
yeah,
shit is so crazy out there
one.
right now. You can't get no hydro equipment off the boats.
You can't
get none of your inputs for your fucking drinks.
Yeah, you got to pay a $13,000 container fee.
That's why it's even more important ever
cars.
that you're American made. And that's huge. You have American-made inputs. You're dealing with American-made processing. A lot of these people have to wait for their liquid to come in on a boat, and then they infuse it themselves on some boo-boo-ass boof shit.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that in a minute. We got to take a quick commercial break and pay some bills. And then when we come back, Chelsea's got a story about my hometown of Modesto. Call in 562-653-0707. Call in now. Get your question into Matt McGinn and Uncle Arnie's team and shit. You might even win something. 562-653-0707, dfzradio.com.
Wanna play me my songs, and I don't think they will understand. Working hard like a businessman to have the things that I never had. I went through some lessons on lessons. I put in that work, now it's blessings on blessings. Like nothing can stop me, like Iron Man armies. I keep that shit on me, just telling you, homie, I'ma get me what I deserve. While I drive with a little swerve, with a fogged out car while I'm smoking the bomb, getting top driving in reverse. Gotta pay all the haters, no mind, and waiting until I get signed. After the money, while you acting funny, be calling and wasting my time. Gotta pay all the haters, no mind, and waiting until I get signed. After the money, while you acting funny, be calling and wasting my time. The roof's gone. I've been taking so many drugs, what are you on? Used to hate me, now they wanna play me my songs, and I don't think they will understand. Working hard like a businessman to have the things that I never had. Gone. I've been taking so many drugs, what are you?
What up, people? It's your girl Justina Valentine, and I'm rocking out with the Saint 562. Let's go. Word.
Hi, and welcome to Non-Specific Hydro.
Yeah, hey, I have a buddy of mine that was telling me about a great additive.
Okay, do you remember the name?
Yeah, his name's Steve. He's a good buddy.
No, the product.
No, he told me it was a super concentrated organic enhancer. Comes in a yellow bottle.
Well, it sounds like he's talking about Floralicious Plus from General Hydroponics.
I don't think that was the name, but he also told me it was a vegan bioplant stimulator that contained vitamins, plant sugars, amino acids, seaweed extract.
Yeah, that would be General Hydroponics Floralicious Plus.
I don't think that's it, man. He told me it was something like Dora Vicious Flush or something, and he said it was like an organic supplement that could also be used in vegging or flowering, and that it was compatible with hydro, soil, and cocoa.
Yes, that would be General Hydroponics Floralicious Plus.
Oh, hey, man, I just remembered what it's called. It's Floralicious Plus.
Oh, good. I was drawing a blank.
Floralicious Plus from General Hydroponics. Ask for it by name.
dfzradio.com.
If I'm rolling up some trees, you can smoke with me. I like the blunt. I like the blunt. If I'm rolling up some trees,
Oh yeah, just let it play, Saint.
you
Let it
can
play.
smoke with me. I like the blunt.
Shout out to Cali Breeze.
I like the blunt.
All right, we're back. Farm to Table Cannabis, DFZ Radio. We got the homie Matt McGinn in studio talking all things medicated. He's keeping us educated on the game and everything you had to go through to get into this when it comes to putting, infused products in bottles. So, cutting through that bureaucracy and red tape was one thing, and then sourcing your own ingredients was another thing. But now let's talk about how you market this stuff, because that's one of the hardest things, What's more important, marketing at all costs or preserving that cannabis culture? While I take a dab.
I think it's all about balance, right? How do you influence? So with Arnie's, Ave Miller, who runs our sales and built the sales channel that is Uncle Arnie's. I mean, we're in over 227 accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Ave Miller and I, I had a vision and he executed it. And, basically we wanted a black market product in the legal space that had legal, research, tech, and inputs, right? So, like, we marketed this thing to the consumer that's not going to the dispensary, and they're going in and buying it out, right? And I don't know what they're doing with it, but not my problem.
Oh, I drink all mine, and I buy them by the case.
They're doing our marketing they did our marketing for us for the first year while we bootstrapped this thing and raised, off friends and family, and And now we, have ample funding, and we went out and did, our own raise, and we have money for marketing.
Because funding is so huge, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and most people don't understand. To get a product off the ground now
takes a lot of money.
And a grassroots effort,
it's
so rare now.
Mhm.
I mean, there are not a lot of fucking people on their own out there in this industry. You've got to have some backing.
Fly got into 180 accounts with $35,000 marketing budget, which is unheard of.
Wow.
But the reason we did that was because we had a really good drink that tasted good, but it was the first drink that was $5 wholesale.
Yeah,
and then
it's like a pour up.
Most drinks are $10 wholesale for 100.
So making things accessible. That's one of the big things you guys are about, is making things available
and regulating
to
the retail and getting them to agree to our markup, the right markup. And the way we did that was saying, look, this is a drink for the people. This is an affordable beverage. It works every time. And, and we won the bud tenders over pretty quickly. And from there, it was, you got to win the bud tenders and the buyer.
What part of marketing did you take from your corporate background and apply it to the new cannabis industry?
I really wanted to create a brand. I feel like most of the, quote, brands in today's cannabis space are not brands. They're just packaged products that are very similar to somebody else's packaged products. There's, there's few brands out there, like you need a real story to have a brand. And so one thing we did early on is we actually hired a bunch of college art students, and we had them create illustrations, and we created this comic team of characters.
Nice.
That each comic character they're diverse, but they also are located in different parts of the state. And we, incorporated some funny cartoons. Like, we're very skate influenced. We've got what are those things in Humboldt? The thing that runs around terrorizing people.
Oh, the tree guy.
Oh, it's Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Yeah, we got
He's
Bigfoot.
my favorite.
We named him. I've got
my fanny
a
pack.
god awful memory, but when I think of a Bigfoot, I think of a Larry.
I was gonna say Mogwai.
I love it.
But
and how are you able to market that? Because they make it so difficult to like market anything in cannabis.
Right. Well, that was the thing. When I was, I co-founded Space Station, and we manufacture most of the industry's drinks. And I saw a lot of these drinks that were coming out that were super challenging to manufacture, super like health oriented, and like very what's going on in the non-alcoholic space right now.
Mm-hmm.
And like we don't even have loading docks at most distros in this state. So like if you're gonna do beverage, you're in for a world of hurt if you don't know what you're facing. So let alone marketing is super important, but like getting your product from A to B is the hardest thing if you're a cannabis beverage.
Yeah, absolutely, I'm sure.
So you need to figure that out before you figure out your marketing. And what's happening is most of these brands that come into the space, they think that, it's just going to be like, we'll find a co-packer, we'll find a distro, they'll do everything for us, and we'll sell and market our product. Well, unfortunately, you can't really get away with that in the cannabis space. You got to have to either know what you're doing and do it all,
or hire someone.
Or hire somebody who knows what they're doing and have them do it for you.
Now, how much of that in this industry are you getting to see as a byproduct of doing things right? People are looking to you now because you're writing the blueprint on putting the product in the bottle.
Yeah.
So, how much white label is a part of your production now?
I think I see a lot of things in the industry, and I'm sure you guys see this too. A lot of firms with money have pivoted from hiring bankers to run their companies, and they've hired OG operators. But they give the OG operator a structural business structure that they can succeed with, right? So it's about building a team that has a little bit of everyone, right? You kind of need a corporate background, and you also need a cannabis background to run a cannabis business right now because of the laws and the regulations and the taxes and the compliance.
It's an industry now. It needs to be run as a business.
Well, who was more complicated and gave you the biggest pushback? Was it the local city? Was it the Bureau of Cannabis Control? Or was it the black market?
Who knows? Because then they all changed and merged into one. I'd say for most manufacturers, it's the local fire departments. They're number one problem. Any extraction company, infusion companies. At Space Station, we had a really good relationship with our city and municipality. They made it very easy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
but most cities aren't like that.
Yeah, but the taxes are high. So I've heard horror stories about Desert Hot Springs, Long Beach.
Yes.
Oakland's the worst, probably.
No, I mean, people look at cannabis companies and they drool. They see money. How much can we fine them? How much can we charge them? How much can we over
Taxation at every
tax
turn.
them?
Yeah, I pay $20,000 insurance on each vehicle for cargo insurance on my distro.
Wow.
Per year. $20K a year per vehicle just for cargo
just
insurance.
because it's cannabis.
Just because it's
related.
cannabis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, even down to filing taxes for cannabis companies that are trying to do anything legitimately.
And let's talk
like
about the consumer and their
insane.
taxes. They're of up to 33% in some jurisdictions.
And we're trying to have safe access. And this is what we voted for, people. We voted for, 64 so that we could destroy the medical market and make it so that this product, which you've done everything you could to make more accessible to people, harder to pay for, harder to get, harder to tax.
It's gonna be better when there's more dispensaries. When more dispensaries open up, the power goes back to the manufacturer, and there'll actually be like brands.
Well, it's,
so owning your
there
own.
was such a flood of dispensaries prior, though. So it's like, how many more do we need? Because some places are so oversaturated, and then others
We
just
need
have
them
none.
in the areas that there are none.
Yeah, for sure.
We needed to go back to the days where there was one on every corner, and this industry was flourishing because there was two markets.
I just like to compare to the alcohol space. If you look at the alcohol space, our space should be very similar to it because it's regulated. There's just so many stupid rules that we have to follow because the alcohol industry actually created a lot of the structure in the cannabis industry because they're threatened by it. So most of our regulations, like I have to put this stupid cap on my bottle. It's childproof and resealable. But that was created because of the alcohol industry.
Yeah.
But you can buy a bottle of vodka and any child can open it.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say my 4-year-old could have opened one back in the day.
Right.
Well, I mean, they got alcohol and mouthwash.
Everything.
When can we have a CBD mouthwash that's just like not really even really weirdly looked at like the? I mean, it's things like that.
Lobbying is making a difference, though. And there's the Cannabis Beverage Association that was founded in 2019, and they've actually successfully helped pass 2 pieces of legislation that change the packaging rules. So it's slowly but surely happening. So, but if you look at where you can buy alcohol in California, you can buy it at any gas station, supermarket, or liquor store. There's going to be a play in a day very soon when you can buy any cannabis product at a C-store. It's coming. The big alcohol companies, the big tobacco companies.
They want it. Constellation Brands involved already.
Oh, yeah. It's going to end up being categorized the same way tobacco growing is.
Yeah.
What kind of insight do you have seeing big companies like Constellation Brands coming in and swooping up these companies? Where do you see this industry going? Is there a room for mom and pop for these ideas that people are dreaming of? People like yourself that want to in this industry and have a great idea. Is there room for that, or are these guys going to come and wipe it out?
Yeah, I think Chelsea and I were talking about it earlier. Colombia and Mexico are going to be huge exporters, right? So when it gets federally legalized and we start importing, most of the world's weed's going to come out of.
That's where all the coke is made anyway.
Well, look, you can grow outside, right? In Colombia, you can grow outside. I think there's going to be a craft space, just like there is in beer and wine, and there's going to be a mass-produced, space. I think if I were on the grow side, I'd be super nervous right now I would go find, like we were talking earlier, go find a state that's not saturated and go find a banking group if you're a grower and partner with a group that's got money and get yourself protected and set up. But there's going to be demand in other states for talent. There is.
Yeah.
There's already a vacuum right now. Hard to find people in this industry. It's
operators. Hard to find.
Anyone who doesn't just want that quick dash money
return.
right now. Yeah. Because this industry is.
If you've got tenacity, you can make it. But if you don't have tenacity, it's not. This is not for you.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, that's how you might be a Chad. So listen, let's talk about the 100 milligram dosing, and then what are your thoughts on the medical market and these really strong edibles that are out there right now? So you guys are 100 milligrams per bottle.
Mm-hmm. Which
people
is the max we could be.
People are out there looking for 1,000 milligrams right now. Is there a medical product coming for you guys possibly, or is there the 1,000 milligrams is not even in the future?
1,000 milligrams. Our gummies are 100 milligrams a pack. We're actually working on a multi-packs.
There you go.
That are better for, we're going to be doing a 10-pack, a 12-pack, a 6-pack. and each pack has a volume discount. You know,
Okay.
I'm a product formulator, and I have some projects with some other companies that have done 1,000 milligram formats, nano emulsified syrups. So we have a couple of syrups coming out. Dr. Norms is going to be doing a syrup line, a nano syrup.
Cool.
Sleep-based syrup.
There we go. Let's get some people some
Yep.
better Z's.
Yeah.
So is it gummies and the tea and more flavors coming?
We got stick packs coming and shots. We just launched. So we have Uncle Arnie's iced tea lemonade. We just dropped peach iced tea, sweet peach iced tea. It's very sweet. It's not generic tasting peach. It's got
can't
real
wait.
tea in it. It
I'm
tastes
so
a lot like the
excited.
Snapple peach, and which is one of the best selling drinks in the country in C stores.
Oh,
Nice.
So that's why I
That
picked
makes
it.
sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, see, this guy.
I
this
use
guy
data
does
to make
his
decisions.
DD.
You
Yeah.
use data? What?
Yeah, we are a database company. We make all our decisions based on data. We use headset data for cannabis data, and we use other data sets for other stuff.
It's
But
bringing that professionalism to the cannabis industry
Yeah,
that's really
treating it
been
like a
lacking, and it's
business.
what people are more comfortable with when you're coming into their stores and you're pitching them things, and you've got a brand behind you that they'll educate your bud tenders.
Uncle Arnie's is all about bringing back the classics. You know, we got iced tea lemonade, we got peach iced tea. Our third SKU is an apple juice, so we're dropping the apple juice in December.
I'm stoked.
And then our fourth SKU is a Sunny D.
Oh God, I can't wait
Purple
for the Sunny
stuff,
D.
yep,
I'm so
cola.
excited.
Oh, look, Uncle Arnie's.
I'm so
Yep.
excited. Well, I love the Uncle Arnie so much though because like I don't drink anymore. So when I'm at events or parties or different things, I'll have like Uncle Arnie's and I mixed it with ginger beer, and so I have this little mocktail, and it's just so enjoyable for me. And then I get a little bit of a buzz too because it's good stuff.
You know, there's a little bit of caffeine in that. A lot of people don't realize it because there's real tea in it.
Yeah,
You know?
until they outlaw us having caffeine and cannabis together, they'll
Right, yeah.
they'll find a way to hate on that too.
And we have a cherry cola gummy nano.
That's one of my favorite candies in the world.
$10 pre-tax everywhere, and then we've got orange pineapple blitz, which is the what's that cactus cooler? It's a cactus.
Oh, yes,
tastes like
cactus
cactus cooler.
cooler.
And then we have an iced tea lemonade gummy and a peach iced tea gummy and a strawberry cream gummy coming out in the next 3 months.
So you look at other people out there that are working for these big companies, and these they see this industry right now, and they see a lack of a product like what you do. You know, what is your short-term recommendations for somebody trying to get out of that side and get into this side and follow their dream or their product? How do they bring their product to market?
You know, I get chills thinking about it because it's just like I know what they're gonna face, and it's in Cali. It's scary right now. I wouldn't really advise anybody unless they're extremely well funded or have some product that like isn't available right
But
now.
do you get in now when it's at the bottom?
No.
Or do you
No.
get
You
in,
wait.
or do you wait till it's at the top? Because that's the way I look at it. Because I'm one of those guys looking for the opportunity. I see this cannabis industry struggling. I feel like it's a better time to start an
I think
industry.
it's time to get in, do your research. I think a lot of people get in, and I think you need to work your job and do your research and get everything set up, and not go all in until you have some structure. I mean, look, you're battling against big boys right now.
Yeah.
You're going in, and you're going to start out against the biggest corporations that have so much money, and you're just going to get gobbled up. But if you've got a brand, if you've got a story, if you've got good packaging, good design, if you know how to get your inputs
I want to make
correctly,
a company and get bought. That's what I want. I want to
Okay.
sell it to the big guys.
well, then there's definitely, if you know what you're doing, then this is the time to do it.
Because they don't want to take the risk, right, Chelsea? Those are the guys, they're the Fortune 700 companies. Their lawyers are saying, stay the fuck away from cannabis until it's federally legal. But someone's got to take those baby steps for them.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
there's going to be opportunities for people that have balls like you who saw a dream and left it. Dude, you left a huge industry. The beverage industry is huge, people.
It is huge, but
It's
it's always
publicly
gonna be
traded.
there.
It doesn't ebb and flow. It's always there. The worst thing happens is they come out with a new product that flops. I mean, but then it's the core of the industry is always fucking there.
Mhm.
That was a Kush. You came into the most chaotic tornado. Everybody told us we're wrong for being in it. You'll never have a career in this. I'm sure you've seen so many people of your demographic and growing up go to jail for it that
Mhm.
couldn't do a job like this. Why take the chance on it right now? And
Well, I think it's look. California, look, if you're trying to get in this game, stay the fuck out of California.
Well said, Matt. Yeah.
I'd pick legitimately any other state if you're trying to get into this. I'd go into any other state other than California right now because it's
so
weed's not cool
oversaturated.
here. It's not cool anymore.
Yeah.
You want to make weed cool, make weed illegal again, and bring shit to the medical market.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I like Massachusetts. I like Michigan. I like Arizona.
I heard Montana's popping off
Montana,
too right now.
You know, low population center, but
even Texas is moving forward slowly, but moving forward. Anywhere other than California, it's so oversaturated. Businesses are closing every single day, every week. It's just the prices are so low, and nobody's going to get the kind of return that they're expecting, especially quickly.
I think if you're trying to get into this game, you need a good support team too. You know, you need a mentor who's been in the space.
Mediocrity will no longer be accepted.
No,
You've got to be a professional.
You've got to be professional. You've got to
look at MJ BizCon a couple weeks ago. Were you over at MJ Biz?
I was.
That shit was a fucking crazy. It's different now. It's not like it was.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, Chad's dad's money is there, and like if you're not paying attention to that, and you're not seeing this the evolution of the industry. There was a lot less tie-dye and way more suits.
We're seeing a lot of consolidation, and what's happening is people are consolidating infrastructure and brands. So if you have two mergers, they're going to pick the best-selling brand in their out of all their portfolios and phase out all these other brands, which is, I like it, but those core brands that stay are going to be a lot more powerful. They're going to have a lot more firepower because instead of putting all this money into 6 different branded items, they're going to just take this one brand, change all those branded items to that one brand, and then pump.
And the money guys that can weather the shit storm that's coming. You think right now is bad? You haven't even seen this industry hoard out yet.
No, we're not.
The
even
big guys
legal.
aren't even here yet.
No. Banking, we can't even bank yet.
You think $300 a pound for weed is bad? Shit. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
But it comes in ups and downs, you know, and there's always going to be a black market. There's always going to be an opportunity out there, but there's always going to be people like Matt Ginn out here looking for the next opportunity in this industry. And if it's not beverages and it's not candy and you weren't doing this, I got to ask you, Matt, what would you be doing?
Well, I'm working on a lot of things. So I can encapsulate any type of food with THC now. I spent a year focusing on that. So white label food, encapsulating it with drugs is something I'm working on. I don't really see a good fit for that right now in the space. It's just not needed. But THC infused cereal is something that I love.
Yes.
I like, Honey Nut High Cheerios or whatever, or like fucking, Fruit Loops with weed. That's what I want for breakfast, right? And I'm a cold brew guy. I'm a coffee obsessed. So
coffee and cannabis are a match made in heaven.
I drink like 3 or 4 cold brews a day. I make 5-gallon batches in my kitchen. And I dose it with CBD emulsion that I make in my kitchen. But another thing I'm fucking around with is like shatter, using shatter as an input. So I've been making a lot of gummies with shatter.
So you got a passion for extract alone.
Oh yeah, I like making products.
I mean, you got a chemistry background you mentioned, right? So it's like
it's self-taught.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. Let's blow some shit up, Matt.
Yeah, I have a degree in social work.
But I mean, you got a passion for that, and you see all the things that could be made. So it's like you're a tinkerer. You won't. I can see right now. There's so many more products up in that head right now.
I got a pill brand coming
cook,
out.
Right?
Yeah.
See,
I got pills, mints, tablets.
With the ever-changing landscape of psychedelics, how long till we see infused mushroom boxed foods?
Come over to my kitchen.
We might have a caller asking a question.
Can
here
open
in a
it
second
up?
too.
You can see it right now.
Right? You're like,
But I mean, it's the future, and more people want to expand the
mushroom
way
bars, chocolate, gummies.
Guy, listen to this, you guys. These motherfuckers at MJ BizCon gave me a fucking chocolate bar, and it said on the back one chocolate piece for a microdose, 2 chocolate pieces for like, a heavy dose, and then it said like eat the whole chocolate bar to be tripping. But I ate 1 piece, you guys. Your boy was shrooming. I wasn't microdosing.
That's the hard part about plant medicine.
I'm at that fucking resort world with that big old screen on the ball, changing fucking things, turning it into a fish tank. My wife's fucking makeup's running. She's looking at me laughing because I'm fucked up so bad. She can't even hold her shit together looking at me. I was like, dosage is a serious thing in the future. People have got to get that
Yeah.
shit straight because you can't do that with liquid. You can't do that.
Okay, nobody's thinking about this with psilocybin though. Psilocybin's fungus, right? So from a food safety perspective, like
How can it
the
even be?
micro load is so high. I mean, people are gonna need to figure that out. You know.
Well, and it's a plant medicine.
Right.
First and foremost, it's a plant medicine. Sometimes it gives you exactly what you need, and sometimes you need to get fucked up and learn your place again. Sometimes you need to lay down. Sometimes you just need to giggle. But it is a plant medicine, and it will treat you as such. Like, it will treat as such, and that's where we're going to struggle for the future of psilocybin on a recreational level.
Well, let's take our first opportunity for our grand prize of the evening. Who we got on the phone, Saint?
We got Breezy.
All right, let's bring him in. What's up, Breezy? Thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Matt Ginn, and we got Chef Chelsea.
Hey, hey.
Hey.
Hi. So, my question is, like, just like you said, it's very relatable to my question. Like, I like it strong, but you're very right. Sometimes you just want a mellow tone. So, you know, when can you pick and choose? Like, when do you know enough is enough? Like, you know, I do prefer strong.
So, like, you know, 100 milligrams, that doesn't mean you take the whole thing at one time. You know, 100 milligrams.
It can. It can.
But it's something that you baby steps to, you know? And, like.
What's your normal dose?
I do like 100.
Okay.
She likes them heavy.
So, yeah, if you drink 100 milligrams of this bottle, like, pour it over ice, slam it, or mix it with ginger ale.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah,
So good.
it'll really get you high. It says there's 100 milligrams in there, but we overshoot always. So there's more than 100 in there. And then there's a little secret about our drinks, right?
Surprise.
Our nano emulsion can't be caught with the lab testing 100%. So we actually have to add more into it anyways.
Wow. What? Thank you for divulging such.
So
like,
there's
crucial
more than 100
information.
milligrams.
You've heard it here
It's
first.
like 500 in there.
Yeah. This is the behind the scenes after hours. It just became 6 o'clock, and he's already divulging the secret information. So Breezy, you got the good questions. We're gonna hook you up. You got a garden? You growing yourself?
I would love to.
Well, we're going to send you some nutrients so you can get hooked up for your first try. And if you call back later tonight, we're giving away some seeds on the Heavy Tea Grow Show, too. So liquid nutrients and seeds. And you can sell us some. You can save us some shipping if you call twice. So there you go. So Breezy, thanks for calling in, asking the question. You want to give a shout out to somebody? What?
I guess just my mom. I hope she believes in me when I get these nutrients.
Had a girl. All right.
Yeah,
shout out to
shout out
moms.
to
All right.
moms.
We're going to get you lit. Make sure you go follow Uncle Arnie's on Instagram and keep tuning in. Farm to Table Cannabis will keep you educated and medicated.
That's right.
All right. Cheers, Breezy. All right. Yeah. So, Matt, gracious guest, man. We are so glad you were able to come here and lace our tennis shoes and teach us a little something about some things.
Yeah.
What's the next event you guys going to be at? I'm sure you guys are doing since you did MJ BizCon. You're probably doing. It's officially event season. It's coming, dude.
Yep.
We're doing it. So.
My partner Ave is speaking at the Cannabis Beverage. No, what is he speaking at? Oh man, Beverage Expo. The Cannabis Beverage Expo in San Francisco.
That thing is cracking every year. It gets bigger and bigger. They're gonna have to make it a couple of day event. It's not gonna be it's gonna be a week event pretty soon.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I don't know. State of the industry. We'll see.
Always more time. And then, hey, if this caller's got a question, we'll take one more question before we get out of here. And Heavy Tea kicks us out for the Heavy Tea Grow Show. But every week, we're here offering you edible reviews, news, and interviews with the top names in the industry. We're going to have our co-host, Chef Chelsea, returning here pretty soon. She's got lots of more guests lined up. And you ain't got to pay nothing but attention. So let's take one more grand prize winner caller. Who knows? We might even. There you go. She's going to send us her address, and we're going to have Chef Chelsea visit her directly.
Well, I am going on the road.
She'll be knocking on the door. Did you win this? Here, take this shit. I drove hella far for this. But
as long as you're footing the gas pedal.
But a big thank you to you, Matt. And Matt, like, who got you started, man? Is there anybody that needs to get a thank you for getting you on your toes? This all your whole team got you on where you're at.
Oh yeah. Theo Terrace, Ave Miller, Alberto, Asaf, Jimmy, Joe. You know who you are.
That's
the
right.
Whole team.
That's right.
The whole team
There
at
we
Hardcar, the
go.
whole team at Fly, our sales team, our logistics team, our dispatch team.
And let's try to make it happen. Let's take a tour of the facility. We'll do the behind the scenes look at the Arnie's and show
Anytime.
people all the quality that goes into it. So thank you again to a co-host, Chef Chelsea. Thank you for coming through, Matt Ginn.
Thanks
and
for having me.
Go follow Uncle Arnie's.
Official Uncle Arnie's. There you go.
There we go.
Uncle
Cheers.
And you can also follow Matt's High Soda. It's our other brand.
Yep, he's bottling. He's slanging it and banging it.
All the tasty treats.
Staying lit. Hydroponic Chef, DFZ Radio, Farm to Table Cannabis, proudly shown on High Times TV and DFZRadio.com.
That hydro make me feel high, feeling so high. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high, feeling so high. Chefs in the kitchen and they chopping up hydro. The hydro chefs in the building and they rolling up hydro. Hydro's in the kitchen and they cooking it up. Hydro, let's go. Hydro's in the studio. Chop it up, chop it up. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Roll up that hydro make me feel fine. Cook up that hydro make me feel high, feeling so high. Roll up, cook up hydro. Roll up, cook up hydro. Roll up, cook up hydro. Let's go. Roll up, cook up hydro. Show.
That was Farm to Table Cannabis with the Hydroponic Chef. Make sure you stay tuned. We got the Heavy Tea Grow Show coming up next, right here live on DFZ Radio.